Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. We are still in the process of breaking down every bit of information we got during that glorious gameplay reveal we got 2 weeks ago. I of course started with a highlight video immediately after the event, breaking all of the information down in 7 bullet points, and we've spent the last 2 weeks breaking all of that down in greater detail. The last bullet point remaining is on the Crucible. Considering how much information we still don't know about the Crucible, there's still a good bit of information we have to go over, and it all sounds pretty exciting. Let's jump into it. Now before we get into it, I know this intro is a little long, but I do want to take an extra special moment to thank everyone who has liked and subscribed on this channel over the past couple weeks. For all of you in the comments that keep reminding me that I should have more subscribers than I do, first off, thank you very much, you're way too kind. Secondly, we're getting a lot of growth here, so I'm feeling pretty good about where things are headed. So again, thank you. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the major bullet points about what we know about the new Crucible. First off, every game mode is going to be 4v4. This does imply that that includes the removal of things like Rumble, and it also does infer that every Crucible map for Destiny 2 will be focused on smaller teams, so no bigger maps like Bastion and First Light. I'm still personally holding out for sort of like a big team battle, or maybe even perhaps a revamped combined arms, especially if we can drive around those awesome new tanks. That would be pretty cool, but for the most part it's going to be 4v4. They're enforcing this as a way for you to master the Crucible across all of the different game types. I'm pretty excited for this, as generally I'm more of a fan of games like Skirmish and Salvage, and I also love games like Clash and Control, but it's definitely harder to keep track of all of the opponents on the field and where they are. 4v4 seems much more intimate and much more purposeful, so you can keep track of all of the enemies, especially now since you can see their supers on the top. And I suppose that's the next topic, is that now the overlay will show you a lot more information about all of your enemies, including which ones are alive, which ones can still be revived, as well as whether or not they are supercharged or not. The way ammo spawns are going to work now is that since all of the sort of special and heavy are now grouped into the power slot, that is the only kind of weapon boxes that are going to drop during the games. So the way they work is that they will spawn every 60 seconds and will be a pack mounted to a wall. Once you open the crate, you will be the only person that gets the ammo from that crate, and it will not be shared amongst the players nearby like it currently does in Destiny 1. But again, this should be fine because we have the reduced player count of 4v4. And then finally, the only other thing we know about the Crucible right now is that we have a new game mode called Countdown. It is a classic attack-defense game mode, and it sort of feels like Salvage. It's actually very similar to it as it is in Destiny 1, except this time it's going to be round by round, where you're going to switch between whether or not you're on attack or defense. You have to go infiltrate the enemy side, plant the charge, and then defend the area until the charge detonates, or until all enemy players are defeated. Another thing we know about the Crucible, which I think is only in this game mode, is that there's limited revives. Every player starts the round with a revive credit, which they can use to revive an ally or to be revived themselves. Other than that, we don't know what game modes are coming back or if there's any other new game modes coming in Destiny 2, but I really hope that there's a new version of Control, and I really hope they start things off with a Mayhem game type of some kind, because I'm definitely going to want to jump in and just use the crap out of those new supers. Now, the other topic of the Crucible is, of course, Trials. Now, they have mentioned the word Trials many times during the reveal, but again, in typical cheeky Bungie fashion, it is not referred to as Trials of Osiris, but simply Trials. It is rumored, of course, that this will be changed to Trials of the Nine, because it's going to be a different experience, and they probably also want to distance the fictional link to Osiris, because of maybe what they're going to want to be exploring in the DLC. Now again, we know nothing about this new version of Trials other than it's going to be launched around launch window and before the first DLC. Now if you watch the My Dream of Destiny 2 video that I put up a few weeks ago, you will know that I think that this will be a ranked Crucible game mode. And if you combine that with the knowledge that we know of seasons being introduced for some reason, we still don't know what, this could be hinting at seasonal ranked playlists, not unlike Overwatch, which is very exciting. As I've mentioned before, I'm a huge fan of competitive Overwatch. I believe it really does foster your growth and makes you a genuinely better player over time. You yourself earn the ranks you achieve, you don't get carried. If this ends up being true, I'm going to be absolutely hooked on competitive Crucible. Anyways, what are your thoughts on all of the changes to the Crucible in Destiny 2? Do you dream of a huge 8v8 all-tank battle mode? Let me know in the comments below. If the answer to that is no, what are you doing with your life? Drop a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Destiny content. And I will see you all next time. Now, what Bungie has done for Destiny 2 is create a hybrid system, which is going to use partially dedicated servers and partially peer-to-peer. The way it's going to work is that Bungie is going to take responsibility for the hosting and the physics sides of things, and then your console is going to be responsible for processing your inputs.